If you're looking to get started in a skilled trade, building a career in the blue collar industry, you may be wondering, do you go to a trade school or do you get into an apprenticeship? Today's video, I'm going to be explaining the differences between the two and maybe help you decide what is the better path for you. So with that being said, let's hop into the video. Hi, I'm Austin with Blue Collar Edu. Blue Collar Edu, we're here to expose, teach, educate you guys about blue collar career opportunities, how to get started in the skilled trades. I myself am a journeyman lineman, have been in the lineman trade since 2017. Before that, I did power line true trimming clearance, and then before that, welding. And before that, while I was in high school, I worked at a mechanic shop after school. So really, my whole life has been trades, and now here part-time to try to help you guys, the future generation of blue collar world, maybe, build a career and just help you guys get a little bit more educated on how to get started and what it takes. So trade school versus apprenticeship, what's the difference? The biggest difference between going to a trade school and getting into the apprenticeship is going to be trade schools are going to be something you are paying to learn. You're going to apply or enroll with a trade school or a technical school. For trade schools, there's really a school for any trade out there. If you want to be electrician, plumber, HVAC, those are three major ones. But honestly, most trades, there are some sort of technical school you can go to. Instrument tech, there's lineman schools, there's all kinds of technical college, trade schools, whatever you want to call them, that almost cover every single industry. The thing about trade schools is there is no guarantee granted employment upon completing a trade school. Trade schools are a really great stepping stone if you want to spend the time and the money and to learn more about the trade you're getting into. I personally would do a few things before looking into or really getting into a trade school to spend that time and the money, because spending that time and the money, it can be expensive. It can be from $5,000 to $30,000 from, a few weeks to 2 years of schooling that I personally think that you could be doing other things that may help you get to the goal you want to do. And whatever that goal is, if you want to become a lineman or an electrician or an HVAC technician or an iron worker or a pipe fitter or plumber, doesn't even matter what the trade is. Trade schools can help you getting to the starting line, I should say. Now, like I said, you're going to be paying the time and the money to go to a trade school. And trade schools are structured training environments. You're going to be in a classroom learning in the books. You're not going to be out in the field working like you would in an apprenticeship. Yeah, I'm sure you'll get some hands-on training, but from what I know, it's going to be more all structured education and training for you at a trade school. It's kind of just like a college of sorts. It's just a different kind of curriculum. It's a good way to learn the basics, but by no means are you going to be getting paid while you're in. It's probably going to be kind of like going to a regular job Monday through Friday. You're going to be going to a trade school and spending that time. There are a few things that you have to factor in about that. And before even looking to a trade school, I would consider, looking to see whatever trade you're looking to get into. If we use HVAC, for example, I will look to see what kind of employment opportunities are out there for HVAC technician, if that's what you want to become, before really enrolling and seeing. So personally, if I want to do residential HVAC, and that's something I want to do, is become an HVAC technician, I would probably call a few companies around in my area and see, hey, do you guys offer apprenticeships? If not, what are maybe some requirements you guys are looking for a technician? Most HVAC companies are probably looking for technicians, but have some experience. I would ask them at that point, hey, well, does trade school experience, HVAC school, does that count towards, the experience you guys are looking for? And they may tell you yes or no. It seems that places, maybe it's 50-50, that they're looking for real world experience and not so much trade school experience, because trade school in a controlled environment is so much different than it is in the real world environment. To be able to simulate a real world environment is something that's really hard to do. In trade schools, they might try to mimic or do that, but it's not always the case, because it can be a commitment to get started and, go to a trade school. I would just personally look for maybe a couple different options before really enrolling and spend that time and the money. Nothing against really trade schools, but because I technically did go to one, it might just be in your best interest to see what kind of opportunities are out there before you really take that stepping stone, because trade schools are different. Now, if we look at apprenticeships are on-the-job training. So you'll have companies, unions that offer apprenticeships for different trades. Lineman apprenticeships, HVAC technician apprenticeships, ironworker apprenticeship, plumbing, pipe fitting, whatever. Most trades have apprenticeship opportunities. Now that barrier to entry is gonna be a little bit more strict. It's gonna be a little bit harder. It's not gonna be as easy as just enrolling and getting into it like you could with the trade school. Now, it's gonna be a whole thing of applying, interviews, aptitude test, going through the whole application process to get into an apprenticeship. Because you gotta think, whether it's with the company or with the union, they're going to be investing a lot of time and money in you as an apprentice to teach you on-the-job training. They're placing you with employment, or if you're with an employer already and they offer an apprenticeship, that employer is going to be spending a lot of time and money investing in you, making sure that, hey, if we're gonna invest 4 or 5 years into this person to come work with us, and we're gonna put them through proper training and get them the right education they need to be a good technician of sorts, then that's gonna take a lot of time and money. So the employer is gonna wanna make sure that they're not just hiring some random person off the street that doesn't really care, versus a trade school. They don't care because they're bringing anyone in that wants to pay the money to come in. So how much does it really matter? Apprenticeships, you're going to be getting probably a little bit more of a one-on-one training experience that can hopefully help you be a better technician or journeyman when it comes to that time. Apprenticeships are obviously going to be learning while earning. On-the-job experience is going to be the most critical part of your training. You're going to be working for an employer while learning from professionals that you're working alongside, other journeymen who are going to be teaching you. And then on evenings or on weekends, you'll be doing in-class academic learning the books, maybe learning the more technical side of the trade you're in. So you can have both in the field, hands-on working experience, and learning the more technical sides of the trade, just so you can get a better, broader knowledge of the trade you are in. Trade schools and apprenticeships, they are different. Trade schools it's not employment. There are trade schools that may or may not get you employed upon graduating that school, but that's not really what they're there for. They might give you a good direction of what to do, but they're there just to teach you and take your money, essentially. Apprenticeships are there to teach you, and they're investing time and money in you to make you a good, skilled craftsman in whatever trade you're in. So they're two different things. I just don't want you guys to get mixed up to think that a trade school and apprenticeship are the same thing. They have similar attributes. They're both structured training. They're both teaching you about the trade that you're wanting to pursue a career in. They do have some similarities, but there's probably more differences than there is similarities. You can also be like a lot of people out there who do both, where you do go to a trade school, like I did. I went to a lineman school, which is technically a trade school or a technical school. And then I went through an apprenticeship as well. And that trade school was ultimately just a stepping stone from not knowing. And then the trade school was kind of that bridge that gaps that from not knowing to having a better idea. And then ultimately the apprenticeship taught me not everything, but most stuff I needed to know to get to journeyman level, and then became a journeyman. A lot of people do that too, HVAC or plumbing or electrical. They'll go to one of those technical schools for a year or so, however long the school is, and then they'll apply and get to an apprenticeship. And the apprenticeship is going to be that 4 or 5 year learning pathway for you guys to learn the ins and outs, the depth, getting hands-on experience in the field, seeing real life situation scenarios. And ultimately, you guys become a journeyman master in that trade. So if you guys have any questions about apprenticeships or pursuing different trades, leave them in the comments below or email me, austin@bluecollaredu.com. I'll try to answer your guys' questions there or on an episode of CTQ. If you're curious about kind of these sorts of things, just don't hesitate to reach out. I'm always here to try to help anyone who has questions regarding getting started. And if you have questions about whether you want to go to trade school or the apprenticeship, what may be the best route for you, yeah, just please email me and I'll try to help you where I can. With all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.